What's going on, guys? It's Justin here, and we're for another live stream, and we have a very special guest today. We have Jim here from Summit Racing's Motorsports and Events team, and we're going to tell you guys all about some of the cool events we have coming up this year. So how are you, Jim? Thanks for joining us today.
We're good. We're excited to talk about this. We got an exciting season ahead. It's already started, so we're 3 in and ready to go.
Yeah, we never rest here. Right January hits, we hit the ground running, and there's tons of events to go to. So let's go get right into it and kind of talk about some of the, what our motorsports and event team does, and then where you guys are heading this year.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So yeah, tell us a little bit of kind of what you guys do and how you guys show up.
We attend events. We just got back from Bear Jackson. A lot going on as far as the events. So we're out supporting our partners, racers, and enthusiasts, and just supporting motorsports in general.
Yeah, so if you guys are out at one of the events we're at and you see that giant Summit trailer, stop by, say hi. We usually have coupons, you can order parts, all sorts of different stuff right at the Summit trailer. So, we're in the middle of February right now. It's warming up here in a little bit in Ohio. And tell them about some of the events we have coming up right within the next couple weeks.
Well, we just, like I say, we just got back from Bear Jackson. We just finished sick week. We're getting ready for Lights Out. Guys just left this morning to head down south for that event. And then we've got our entire indoor show car series coming up, which includes the Detroit Autorama here in a couple of weeks. So a lot going on in the next couple of weeks, and it doesn't slow down throughout the year.
Yeah, and if you guys are in the Metro Detroit area, or even, it's not a bad drive to Detroit from anywhere, but if you've never been to the Detroit Autorama, highly, highly recommended. One of my favorite shows to go to. And, they give out the Riddler Award there, which is the creme de la creme, prestigious hot rod builder award. You got to really build something spectacular to even compete.
It's first time shown. It's first time it's shown anywhere. So that's what makes it pretty cool. Is the kind of, you don't know what's going to show up till you get there.
Yeah, no, and these cars are all built in secret. There was actually, I went to film a video at a hot rod builder's place one time, and that was the whole deal. It's like, oh, what can we show? They're like, everything but that corner of the shop, because that's the Riddler car. Yep. But, okay, so moving on from February, jump right into March, and March is just as busy. Again, you guys have a crazy schedule, but let's touch on some of the events you're hitting in March, because they're really, really cool. All over the United States. This is just absolutely bananas.
Yeah, no, finish up Detroit next weekend. We're in Chicago, and then we've got Cincinnati, and then we head to Texas. So Texas 2K is another one of those events that if you haven't been, it's one you need to see, because it's a little different than anything else that just goes on around the country with roll racing, drag racing. It's 5 or 6 days of some fun stuff. Lamborghinis, GTRs, Camaros, Corvettes, Supras. Whatever you want. It's definitely one of the cool events. And then we make a little trip across the border to Winnipeg and Kansas City. So.
Yeah, that's quite the scope too, and that's kind of even just looking at the month of March. We're just not going to car shows. You're hitting Texas 2K, which again is a prestigious drag racing event. And then to Canada. So you're going to go from wearing T-shirts to, you're going to have your earmuffs on, because in March it is still very chilly up there in Winnipeg.
Chilly up there in Winnipeg, yeah, absolutely.
So moving on from March, let's just get right into April. April looks like kind of a light month.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, just one there with Mustang Week, but that's a new one for us. Not a new event, but there's always been one on the East Coast. It was in Myrtle Beach. They're moving that to Charlotte this year. But I think it's the second year for the one down in Corpus Christi. So schedule opened up for us this year to go give that one a try. So truck was already kind of down south with Texas 2K, so we're just going to roll down and do the Mustang Week event.
Yeah, and that's got to be kind of a crazy part, is correlating where a truck's going to be on a given week and what other close shows. It's got to be kind of this schedule isn't made overnight. It has to take some real thought and process.
No, it's it takes a lot of time, and actually we're probably already starting to work on next year as you figure these things out as soon as you get dates. But just crisscrossing the country with basically 3 trucks and figuring out which one needs to be where is a lot to keep them loaded and ready to go and rolling down the road. But I think we got it figured out for this year, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, there's a really great schedule this year, and it's super, super cool. So into the month of May, one of my favorite events, the Indy 800. I've had the pleasure of attending it a couple times, and those Cletus events are always crazy. If you get the chance to go one, highly recommended. But yeah, let's. Then we have one right in our backyard at our namesake track up there at Summit Motorsports Park.
Yep, the new turn and burn. That's a new event with Mickey Thompson. He come to us and Bill Bader at the Summit Motorsports Park with this idea about doing a kind of a little different spin on a drag and drive. So all the racing is going to happen at Summer Motorsports Park, and then the racers are going to take kind of day trips. I think they're going down to Mansfield to the prison, I think, and then obviously Mickey Thompson is right in our backyard, so they're going to make a trip over to Goodyear, stop by a retail store, and then up to Mickey Thompson and back to race. They got 3 or 4 days there that they're racing. They're doing some test and tuning a couple days before, doing some tire testing, all that good stuff. So should be a fun, should be a new event in May.
Yeah, that is cool. And, we always love new events. And, going to Summit Motorsports Park is a trip within itself. You can't beat that pound of ice cream for a very, very good value. And it's America's racetrack. It is absolutely beautiful.
No, absolutely. Bader do a great job. We're proud to be partners with them.
So, yeah, from there, looks like you guys are heading to C10 Nationals. We love square body pickup trucks. Yep. They're awesome.
Yep. No, that's we've been doing that event for several years. It's a good event. Obviously, like I say, we got a good assortment of pieces and parts for those trucks. So we're excited to go down there, and always does well for us.
So, yeah, and then kind of what's one I'm not familiar with, I guess I know a little bit about it, but is Hyperfest. That kind of touches on the other side of motorsports.
Yeah.
Is super, super cool. Have we been, that's a relatively new event in the grand scheme of things.
This will be our second year at Hyperfest. It's down at VIR. So we've got the NASA group down there racing. So there's 300 or 400 cars racing around the big track. And then on the inside is basically where Hyperfest happens, which is a lot of drifting, a lot of different stuff going on. It's a fun event, so we're excited to get back this year. Then there's out in the woods. I didn't get there last year, but there's an off-road course too. So there's a lot going on at Hyperfest. So we're happy to get back down there and work with those guys.
Yeah, that is cool. And Summit Racing, we talk a lot about drag racing and stuff like that, but we cover all forms and spirits of racing, between drifting, off-road racing, drag racing, a lot of drag and drive stuff, and road racing too. We want you to have parts from us on your guys' race cars, no matter what it is. So from there, Aces, Ohio, that's right in our backyard. It's Dragway 42, but it has more to the name. I can't pronounce it right.
Yeah, I was at Dorana Raceway. I think it's several have been renamed recently. But yeah, we work with one of our local racers, Marco Abruzzi, and his team, and that's a great sportsman race. They got a lot of fun. Kind of gets back to those old days of it. It's a great fun atmosphere for the weekend. So yeah, we're excited to be a part of that one this year too.
Cool. And then you guys are heading to Dega.
Yes, this is a brand new one for us. So Battle in Bama, totally new. I had to make some notes here. It's a hot rod truck bike event alongside the OBS Nationals. So we're excited to be a part of this. We're actually sponsoring the autocross portion of the event with the group from Grip Autocross down south there. So we're excited to be a part of it. Again, first year for us, so we're excited to go down there and check this one out. Heard a lot about it.
Yeah, that's super cool. And that is neat. You guys are always checking out and kind of, looking to cover new events, because there's always new stuff popping. Like Drag and Drive is my prime example, because it was limited to one event for a long time. It was Hot Rod Drag Week. Yep. And now it is, I think that's the largest growing racing segment currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the last 5 years, it's just exploded. And again, when there was one, then there was half a dozen. They were all great. And now, getting a lot more regional events, which is cool, because those are kind of feed. You can go get your hands or you go get your feet wet with a local one, and then see if you're really ready for drag week or a sick week or something like that, because those are pretty grueling.
Yeah, that's the creme. That's the top tier when it comes to the drag and drive stuff. And so let's get June is going to roll right around fast, and then it's time for Hot Rod Power Tour, which is a super, super cool event. It's very synonymous. It's been going on for a long time, but it'll be thousands of cars driving between different racetracks, hitting different. It's kind of like drag and drive without the competition and pressure. It's a lot of fun, which I think is neat. And I got to attend last year, actually my first one, and go check it out. And I hope to be attending another one this year, because it was super, super cool. And different hot rods, driving thousands of miles. Who doesn't love it? So from there, Six Summer, which is Tom Bailey and the whole Six series of events has really blown up. If you want to touch on that.
Yeah, no, we just finished up Sick Week down in Florida. He's got another one up there. There's several going on. He's got several other ones that he's involved with. There's a lot of sick stuff going on. He does a great job. He's got an awesome team. The events are always really, really well run, and we're proud to be a part of that and support the racers during those events.
Yeah, and then to another Good Guys event. And Good Guys is also one of my, it's the car show of car shows. We have one down by us in Columbus. This one happens to be in Georgia. But I mean, thousands of hot rods of all different flavors, makes, and that's they had a rule change a couple years ago where they're on the 25-year rolling roll, kind of like vintage license plates. So anything from the early 2000s now. Yep. So yeah, I saw in 2001 like a Chevy half-ton truck at Good Guys last year, and I was like, oh my gosh, I daily drive one of those.
Has it really been 25 years? Yeah.
So yeah, even just moving on from there. So from there we have Summit Racing Nationals, which is our namesake event up at Norwalk. That's a super cool one, and it's kind of that's a whole party of a week here at Summit Racing.
That's a big one. That's the big one for us. Obviously, back at Summer Motorsports Park with the Baiters and NHRA, huge event. We kick off the week here with a meet and greet kind of deal, car show here in the retail parking lot. Kind of kicks the week off. Then we head up for the weekend to see some great racing and obviously root on our drivers and looking forward to a good year. And Bill got a lot of fun things planned. And it's the 75th year of the anniversary of the NHRA. So they've got a lot of stuff going on. There's special books, there's rings if you pre-buy tickets, and all sorts of stuff. So I would check out Summer Motorsports Park or NHRA.com to see what's going on there with that event.
That is super, super cool. And like you'd said, the meet and greet down here at Summit is one of my favorite things. The drivers come down, we put all the trailers up in the parking lot. It's a lot of fun. So, July, one of my favorite months. And speaking of, this July is going to be extra special because it is the 250th birthday of America. So we're going to be celebrating extra hard. It'll be a good time. But starting off July, you guys are heading to Des Moines, Iowa for Good Guys.
Yep, that's a big show. That's really, I think I haven't actually been to Des Moines, but I understand the show's about as big as Columbus. So the guys come back, and that's always been a really strong show for us and big fairgrounds up there. So again, one we've been doing for many years, and again, proud to support those participants and our partners with the Good Guys. Yeah.
Ooh, and then into one of our namesake events, and kind of the first of its kind, Summit Racing Autocross Week. I've actually, I think I've been to at least every one. I've got to run one. It was a lot of fun, and for you guys that don't know what it is, it's kind of similar to a drag and drive event, but we go to 3 or 4 different tracks and autocross, and then you have a drive and some stops. And it's really cool. And one of the fun parts is the other side, besides just the events trailer, you guys have the motorsports truck as well, which that one follows with parts, just like the drag and drive stuff. So for you guys that don't know, I'll let Jim explain kind of the parts truck a bit because it's super, super cool feature of that we do.
Yeah, something we started a couple of years ago. We've got a couple, we call them coaches. They're about 44 foot long. Got a little RV in the front, but we got the ones with the storage in the back. So we've got them loaded with parts. And this really did sort of start from the drag and drive events where, we're there. We want to help folks. There's nothing worse than someone coming up asking if you got a part and we're Summit Racing and not have that part. So, we made the change to pick up a call. We've got a couple of these now that we get up and down the road. And we're very supportive, again, of the drag and drive events. Any events that are, usually more 3, 4, 5 days where the racing continues on is where we can really help folks. And even Power Tour, you said it was thousands of miles. So, we want to be able to help folks. There's usually cooling and starters and all that good stuff that kind of creeps up on you when you're rolling up and down the road, especially in the summertime. So we kind of joke that it's kind of a MacGyver. If we don't have the right piece, we're going to make it. Or we're going to get you something, and if we don't have it, we'll have it shipped to the next event or to the next location, and but we'll get you patched up as best you can to get you down the road, and we'll see you the next day. So
yeah, and that's the goal, is we want to keep you guys going, and that's what we do with this is you never know what you're going to find on the truck and kind of parts. And that's the one thing I have been told about Power Tour is, the deal is if you can't set the car in the driveway and it can't idle in the driveway for 2 or 3 hours without overheating, you're going to need to work on it a little bit before you go. Because like I said, it is thousands of cars. It takes a minute to get in the track. You spend a lot of time in traffic, enjoying the weather and looking at lots of cool hot rods. So
yeah, it's a fantastic event, like I said, but it can be brutal. You don't know what you're going to get weather-wise. It's rain or shine. We've been through thunderstorms, we've been through things like that, and been through extreme temperatures, and like I say, we try to have what they need to maybe get them to the next event.
Yeah, and that's just like you were talking about temperature. Look, it's all about adversity. Sick week a couple weeks ago, it was like 30 degrees outside, and that is not typical Florida weather.
No, we were all jealous. The guys were headed to Florida for a week until they got down there, and it was pretty grueling there a couple of mornings when it was really cold. So they were told them it should be in Ohio. It wasn't much better in Ohio, but definitely colder in Florida than they were expecting.
Yeah,
so.
The parka sales in Florida really went up that week.
Yes, yeah, yep.
So the last event for July is another Ace Ohio event out there at 42. That's, again, another cool super drag race.
Great sportsman race. Yeah, a lot of great racing out there, so it's fun to support those guys, and kind of ties into our local retail store too. So.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then we are on to August. Now, August looks like it's a crazy schedule for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we kick off with Night Under Fire, one of the greatest events across the country. Bill puts on an amazing show. Top Fuel. I'm not sure what all he's got scheduled for this year, but he's always got something fresh and new to keep the event exciting. And then you know, we roll right into the Street Rod Nationals down there in Louisville. So again, another huge event, one we've been going to for many, many years, and probably part of. And then we all head west for Hot August Nights. And if you're not aware of what Hot August Nights is, there's 5,000 or 6,000 cars in town in Reno. And probably the coolest part is they're out driving around. They're not sitting still. There's different car shows and stuff every day at different casinos. There's cruises in the morning. There's cruises in the night. There's concerts. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. We've got a retail store there. There's a poker run for the cars. We've got the Big Boys Toy Store downtown with about 80 of our vendors set up and showing off what they've got and taking orders. And this year we're planning to be down, hoping getting a new spot with the Atlantis this year. Down over there, they've got the auction down there. So there's just a ton going on that week in Reno.
Yeah, I will say Hot August Nights is a multi-year event you need to do, because you can't do it all in one year. I tried and I failed, but we had so much fun. You know, we did the poker run. We were you cruise under the Reno sign every night. The car shows at all the casinos are absolutely phenomenal, and the auction is cool. Like you said, there's so much to do. It's hard to get all in 1 week. So moving on to there, again, a totally different category, Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion.
Yeah, let's go do some Jeep things. So, you know, head to the mountains down there in Pigeon Forge. Huge event. That one is, I've been a couple years, but I hear it just keeps growing and growing. And again, we're probably, it features our Jeep market just as we continue to grow and do more and more. Just another way to support our customers.
Yeah, and that's, again, another fun one. I've never seen so many 7-layer grills and 7-inch headlights all in one place, and ducks. There's lots of ducks. Yep. So how about Corvettes at Carlisle? Carlisle, PA, another car show mecca. There's, they do all sorts of different stuff there. They have a Mopar show, a Corvette show, truck show. It's not a bad drive from here. I think it's about 5.5 hours. But yeah, let's talk about Corvettes.
No, again, Carlisle's got a lot of great events. We've struggled to get out there with the schedule, as you see. So the Corvette one fits in our schedule. Again, another market that's strong for us, and we continue to pick up more and more for the Corvettes and restoration, things like that. So again, been a great show for us. I think we're going on our 3rd or 4th year with them, and excited to go back. So.
Yeah, super. And then another Aces event. Again, we're going drag racing, guys. We love drag racing a lot, so it kind of puts a big old smile on our face. So from there, September's rolling around. The weather's getting considerably nicer at that point. It's a lot cooler outside. You can go outside. The Fling at Norwalk, that is one I'm not familiar with. So tell us all about that one, Jim.
Big money race. So it's something that we've been that goes on across the country. I think they got probably 5 or 6 events. A lot of door car, dragster stuff, but a lot of big money on that weekend. Each day there's a new big points fund or a dollar payout for those guys. So guys and gals. So great event. We were excited that it moved to our backyard last year at Summit Motorsports Park, and proud to continue to support those guys. And we've kind of become a part of it across the rest of the events too. The summer.
That is cool. I'm gonna have to check that one out. And I love big money racing. Yeah. It's dollar bills, y'all. Yeah. So from there, heading down to Nashville for the Triple Crown of Hot Rodding, which is that's a multi-layer event, and it builds up to that one.
Yeah, I mean it's a new. I think it's the 3rd or 4th year, but it has the best of the best when it comes to hot rod builders. We got this year. We're the title sponsor of the Triple Crown, so as we've seen it grow, we've got a chance to get involved a little bit higher. So proud to be part of it, like I say. But the guy, everybody comes back and just says what an incredible show that is. And biggest builders from around the country are there with the best of the best. So and that's what it's being billed as is an event like that. So we're excited again to be a part of a new event. And
that's cool, because the cool seeing a 7-figure hot rod build is one thing, but when there's a whole room full of them, it really just kind of scales it. Yep, then to LS Fest, which is a really cool event. The it's LS Swap the World, as everybody says, yes. And this is an event all about LSs. And there's drifting, drag racing, autocrossing, anything you can think of, and it's right there in Bowling Green, which is Holly has been a huge push in the LS spot market. So it's right in their backyard. Jim, if I missed anything, tell us about it.
No, like I said, it's a great event. It's got a long history with the event. Again, great event. Again, they've expanded. It's got so big that there's LS Fest West. There's one in Texas. You know, as it's grown, they've moved them on to around the country. So again, a fantastic event. Great partners like Holly involved with that, and again, a great event. Like I said, there's so much going on.
Yeah, and if you're not an LS guy, you know they also have Ford Fest.
Yep.
Mo Party. So they have one for every brand affiliation. You know, no matter where you put your cam in your block, there's somewhere for you.
They're almost back to back. They're back to back, week to week on those three. So yeah.
That is super cool. So from there, Nopi.
Nopi, that's a name we haven't heard for a while.
Yeah, I know.
So we're excited to see them back. I think this might be their third year at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, but that event has continued to grow each year. So we talked to them at, I believe it was SEMA and PRI about being involved. And I think we're like 12 miles from our McDonough retail store. So we're excited to be a part of that, help support the store and this event that's kind of come back from mid-late 90s type event. But no, we're looking forward to it. Something different, as you say.
Yeah, and that's cool. And you know, and that's what it's all about. It's diversity and different flavors of motorsports. We want to be represented throughout and show you guys that we're your part source. If you need something for no matter what you drive, Summit Racing is the answer. And Ed, you had touched on it's right in the backyard of our Georgia store, which is super cool. And then to the creme de la creme of drag and drive events, Hot Rod Drag Week.
Yeah, if you don't notice, we somehow managed 4 events on one, ended up in the one weekend there. So we only have 3 trucks. So that was a little challenge when all the dates came in and we had to figure that out. But yeah, so we'll head out to Hot Rod Drag Week that Saturday night, get there Sunday morning, be ready to help the racers as they register. We call it day 0, but there's always something. They go through tech and they needed their helmet, harnesses, whatever comes up that they get through the safety. And we try to have that all on the truck, so we're ready to help them get ready to race the next day. And then that's another grueling week of racing on the road.
Yeah, fun fact for you folks at home, Jim here, and he's an avid drag and driver, and has participated participated in Drag Week several times, and you guys have had a really good time doing it.
I'm an avid co-pilot and navigator, which I think sometimes is more stressful, following the route and making sure we get to where we go. And we've had those nights in a gas station parking lot changing parts and fixing this and fixing that. So it's we've survived most of them, but we've also not finished one, which was humbling, I guess. So, but they are some of the coolest events from the camaraderie and stuff that goes on at these events, and everybody's there to help each other, and that's where we like being there with the truck also. So we got a crew with a couple more guys on the road, and we go from track to track just like the racers. We're there all day helping the racers. The guys load up the truck and head to the next facility and get ready the next morning. So. Like I say, it's a lot, but it's fun, and we're happy to be there and make sure racers, many can finish as they can.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We're powered by enthusiasts around here, so that's what we like. We got a couple comments in the section. We have James here. Hey, James, nice to see you. We have Big Whedon over here. It's nice to see you, and who knows, you might see us in North Carolina. We got some thumbs up. And then we have Mr. Tommy Dupree.
Yeah,
turn left. Who doesn't love NASCAR and those kind of racing?
Sometimes I have to yell at him, your other left. Directions can be, a little loud in the car, so sometimes the directional stuff gets a little fun.
Yeah, it's a left that's just a Tennessee right.
Yeah, that's it.
So on to that, October, spooky season. Love that, carving pumpkins and stuff. Down to the wonderful state of Texas for the Lone Star Nationals, which is another really cool Good Guys event.
Yeah, Summit sponsor. We're the title sponsor of that event. And again, we're about 30, 40 minutes from our retail store, so kind of the proximity of the stores helps when we're working at these events and stuff like that. But yeah, another great event that Good Guys puts on down there. Autocross, the participants get to go around their big track there and when the event's over at the end of the day. But yeah, just another fantastic event that we're a part of.
Yeah, that's cool. And one I've not been to, but I do love Biloxi, Mississippi, is Cruising the Coast.
Yeah, another huge hot rod event right down there on the coast. Tons of cars, thousands and thousands of cars, and they just cruise up and down on the coast. They're literally on the coast, We're set up at the one area where all the vendors and things are set up, and they're again support the racers and the participants in that. But similar to a Good Guy show or something like that, where they come from all over the country to be a part of the show, and it's exciting for us to be there.
Yeah, Biloxi's cool. It's a hop, skip, and a jump right from New Orleans, right across Lake
There you
Pontchartrain.
go. There you go.
So from there, No Mercy 17. So No Mercy, that is another staple creme de la creme drag racing event down there in the lovely state of Georgia.
Yep, another duck race, which we talked, we're headed to Lights Out this week, and this is another piece of that, those events that he puts on. Like I said, some of the fastest, and that time of year, you're kind of throwing it all out there. It's the end of the year, so we're going to see what we can put at it, and we've seen some take flight down there. So you got to keep your eyes on the track, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and October rolls. That's that good air. That's and one of the events we'll be talking about here in a second is a good air event, and that's when you see the crazy stuff.
Yep.
Dirt track racing's next on the schedule from there. So tell us about heading to Mineral Wells.
Wow, and from a dirt track side, we've got several series that we work with. We don't get out as much with the trucks as we can, but we've got a modified series that we run during the summer. We support Lucas Oil with their deal, and this is the finals. So it's moving from Eldora to Mineral Wells this year is cool. You always go down Route 77 and see that track off to the side. So it'd be cool to be down there and be a part of that, see that track come alive for a weekend. So
yeah, I think that seeing that packed in is absolutely going to be crazy, which is cool. So from October, we move into November. And November next on the schedule is SEMA.
That little event, SEMA. Out in Las Vegas.
Just a little. There's a couple people there. A few cars show up. That's what I was talking to somebody this year, and they were at SEMA this past year. They're like, I remember when it was at the baseball stadium in LA,
oh, wow.
and it was just one floor of it, and that's like crazy to think. And now it fills. Everybody should know what SEMA is. It's a four conference center large giant show right in Las Vegas, millions of square feet, millions of cars, kind of the creme de la creme of the car industry. It's one of my favorite events. You never know what you're going to see. It's super, super cool. But there's a really cool event that goes on the week right after SEMA in November, my apologies, and that is World Cup Finals in Bud Creek, Maryland.
World Cup, that's a huge event, and that's one that I haven't been there because I get to do SEMA. So we send the other crew out there, and again, it's another one of those end of the year, swinging for the fences, import versus domestic kind of deals. Great track there out at Maryland International Raceway. Those guys put on an incredible show. Proud to be part of that event and the track now. So we've stepped up and working with them out there as they've picked up an NHRA race this year. So we've been out there for drag and drives. So looking forward to that. But yeah, that's one the guys always come back from with, like, man, did you see that?
Yeah, that is, and like, I can't say it's enough. It is literally, they let it all hang out there that week.
Yeah.
There is so many, the unfortunate part of that is lots of oil downs, but you see records. I know the air quality there during that week is like, it's below sea level, which is kind of crazy. But on the other side of the United States, after that week, we'll be at Dino's Get Down, which is, from what I understand, is the event of events when it comes to square body Chevrolets.
Yep, no, absolutely. Another big one. Like I say, we're coast to coast, east to west there. Huge show, free to get in. It's amazing what this show has grown into. And it was one of those ones that was kind of on our radar, and we kept hearing about it. And then we met Dino, and we're kind of out there already for SEMA. So we've already got a truck out there on the west coast. So it kind of made sense to just go do this one. It's the week after. So, but yeah, it's a lot going on. And another one of those, if you haven't been there, you kind of want to go check it out.
Yeah, and it's cool. That's the cool part is as we say, we have parts for everything. So you can build almost an entire square body out of our catalog, which I just think is absolutely crazy. So wrapping up the end of November, right around Turkey Day and that kind of deal, is Houston Autorama. Again, Autorama, staple event. You can't beat it. Really, really cool car show. And then we're on to the month of December when it gets real chilly outside.
Yeah.
And that's when we will be sitting in the cold in the lovely shores of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, who thought of that? I know it used to be in Orlando, but yeah, December in Indy, well, no different in Ohio, but it's a great show. It's all indoors. For the most part, if you're at a hotel downtown, you can kind of get anywhere with the skywalks and everything else. But what a huge show it is for hardcore race parts. And again, it's a great time for us to meet with all our racers, partners, our partnerships that we've talked about here, because everybody's it's kind of great because we're not at an event. You got time to sit and talk, one, you get a wrap up of what happened this year, and obviously you're planning for the next year. So it's a full weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, PRI is one of my favorites, and you see a ton of people. Oh, we have a fun comment
boy.
from our buddy Michael Narks. I agree, Mike. Jim Greenleaf is the man. He's one of my favorite people to see here at Summit Racing, and you know, you'll if you guys look hard enough, you'll see this man in an event. So you know, stop by, say hi. You know, even get a picture.
Oh, geez.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you, Jim.
Get us a hero card made.
Yeah, that's what you're going to need, trading cards to pass out. Collect them all.
Yeah, one for my mom and my wife.
That's perfect. Yeah. First 2 autographs. That's what I say all the time is, you know, I control my autographs, so I can be like you know, Sonny Koufax, get some real good money for it one day. But yeah, that's the cool part is, you know, Jim and the guys are out at all sorts of different events all year long. You never know where you're going to see them. And so if you do see the Summit, again, stop by, say hi, order some parts, get some coupons. And, you know, if you're at a Dragon Dive or something like that, stop by and see if you need a part, stop by and see them. Because you never know. They're going to be able to get you back on the road, fingers crossed, hopefully.
No, absolutely. Like I say, stop by, pick up some swag. Always got something free we're handing out. Pick up a catalog, a coupon, things like that. But just stop by and say hi. So we get a lot of our great customers stop by and tell us how much we appreciate being there, and we appreciate them back. So it's good to be out on the road, and you know, we're out as much as we can. And there's tons of events we can't make it, but keep adjusting the schedule every year.
So, well, that is the schedule for 2026, guys. So make sure to drop in the comments. Tell us where you would like to see us for maybe 2027, and if you're lucky, we might pop up. You never know. But yeah, that's I don't really have anything else. Jim, do you have anything for the people?
No, sounds good. We covered a full year there. It's now we got to go do it.
Yeah, that's talking shit, guys.
Yeah.
So now it's all about getting out there. So until next time, I'm Justin here with Summit Racing. Jim as well. Jim, thanks for coming on and talking to us today.
Great opportunity. Thank you.
Yep. And yeah, we're wrapping up, and we'll see you guys later. Have fun, make good choices, and don't talk to strangers, guys.